feeling back afterwards. Calm down, bliss. So you get served as well. Onto the tail end, you get served as well.
I had lots of enjoyable interviews. Some comedians are always fun. Somebody like Robin Williams, who's no longer with, or Peter Cook. I did a very enjoyable thing with him when he played 4 different parts. But they're kind of easy for the host in a way, especially other, again, quite like American comedians. But possibly a highlight would be I interviewed Mikhail Gorbachev, who'd been head of the USSR and had brought about a complete change in world events, and he didn't speak English. And yet we had to do it to make it an entertaining show through a translator. I think that might be my favourite ever interview.
Although I was the first woman to climb Everest from both south and north sides, I never had Everest as a goal. I started climbing because I discovered rock climbing as a teenager, and then I was just passionately curious about trying things that were more difficult, more remote, higher, harder, and I desperately wanted to go to the Himalaya. And there was the first South African Everest expedition, full of men, all men. And then at the last minute, they came up with this bizarre, almost early reality TV style selection of a woman to join the team, as if she was a flag to be planted on the summit. But I just saw an opportunity.
In Beijing in 2008, when I finally won the gold medal, I touched the wall and I turned to see the board. My biggest feeling was relief, because my whole life, from the moment I decided I wanted to be a swimmer, was geared towards that and achieving that. And I was very aware that as much as I wanted it and whatever I did, there's another 7 girls in the race that are all as good as I am. And it all comes down to that one race and that one moment in time. And 1 minute and 41 seconds defined the rest of my life, I guess. And
well, as you know, I'm a blind adventurer. What is the most difficult thing I've done? Very hard to know, I guess, but certainly flying a microlight from London to Sydney. If you can imagine a microlight that narrow that if you get cramp on your leg, you can put it out this side or put it out that side. Ever been on an aeroplane when you step either side of the seat and you fall out, 20,000 feet? So for me as a blind person, flying using my ears and not my eyes, that was very challenging. I always wanted to be a pilot when I was a little boy growing up, didn't know I was going to go blind. And when I got the news, I thought that was the end of my dream to be a pilot. And towards the end of their life, they have to use their wealth to try and get their health back again. What a stupid way to live.
Okay, we've got time for one more question. So don't put any pressure on you, but it better be good. That's, we'll make them, let's make it hopefully a snappy question with snappy answers. I think I'm in danger of going beyond the time I was given.
Yeah, thank you. It just occurred to me that all 3 of you, everything you do is very physical and active, and I wonder whether, because it's your dreams, it makes you happy, or how much is attributable to whether you think that, being outside and doing sports and things is sort of the key to feeling fulfilled and happy.
So that's maybe back to you, Liz, in terms of your achievement of being the best, the fastest, the medalist that makes you happy, or is it making yourself in a great physical condition that you can swim well, in your case, or doing something physical?
I try and make it snappy, but I think they're interlinked. And for me, a lot of it was my impairment was minimised by the amount of training I did because I was mobilising myself. So actually, I was getting more from training 30 hours a week than the NHS were ever going to be able to do for me. And they even said that. So there was that element.
You get the experience of putting yourself into risky situations and then extracting yourself safely. And all of that brings knowledge and confidence that you can then also bring back into everyday life.
Love yourselves more, love your body, find a nice way to exercise. I couldn't watch a black line, underwater, but all I'm saying, there's a nice way for you to exercise. Get out there and love yourselves more. That's my message to all of you. Love yourselves more. You're precious. Don't neglect yourself because of all the things around you. You are precious. Get out there and do things for you. You'll be a better person and a better manager and leader as a result.
Well, I was going to sum up the whole evening, but I don't think I could do any better than that. We're all going to die. Look after yourself. Stretch yourself. Do everything. Thank you very much, Liz Johnson, Cathy O'Dowd, Miles Hinton-Barber. Thank you very much for listening tonight.